After na, sa 24 na, ako yatag na lang. Kempa. Bawal man na sa Chinese. Advance. Okay, we're about to start. 2:31 na. Okay, the 90th regular session of the 21st City Council is now called to order. Okay, invocation by Honorable Councilor Kenneth Sakala, followed by the singing of the Lupang Hinirang and the Cagayan de Oro March. Please rise.
Let's put ourselves in the holy presence of God, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, as we gather in this city council session, guide our minds and hearts, grant us wisdom, clarity, and respect as we discuss and decide on matters affecting our community. May our words and actions serve the best interests of the people of Cagayan de Oro, promoting unity, progress, and justice. Help us lead with integrity and compassion. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, tewas ng sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisitin, sa nanagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit ng pagaw. Hinatang tula, kawin sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iindig. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan ang hindi magtitindig. Luman ang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya ng kartay mga akin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Please be seated. Mr. Secretary, please do the roll call.
Honorable City Vice Mayor Jocelyn B. Rodriguez, Presiding Officer. For the First District Councilors, Honorable Desiree Ann M. Dahino, Honorable Roger G. Abaday, Honorable Juancho R. Pascual, Honorable Agapito Heriberto G. Swan, Honorable George Christopher Q. Goking, Honorable Moreno Y. Dabadi IV, Honorable Al P. Ligaspi Sr., Honorable Amy Rose P. Moreno. For the 2nd District Councilors, Honorable Ivuna Yasini B. Imano, Honorable Maximo T. Rodriguez III, Honorable Paulo Nicolo Gaani, Honorable Joylen Mercedes El Balaba, Honorable Yanlam S. Lim, Honorable Enrico D. Salcedo, Honorable Hilda Ong Ogo, Honorable Edgar S. Cabanlas. For the ex-officio members, Honorable Marlo L. Tabak, Liga ng mga Barangay President, Honorable Kenneth Jan D. Sakala, City Escape Federation President, and Honorable Dato Roberto P. Cabaring, IPMR. There is quorum, Madam Presiding Officer.
Quorum is hereby certified. Before we proceed, let us first sing a birthday song to Councilor Janjan Rodriguez, to be led by Councilor Paulo Gaane. Okay. Please rise.
May I request everyone to stand and sing to our Congressman, Councilor Janjan Rodriguez. So everybody, mo dance daw si Councilor Daba. Anyway, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Faster, everybody. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. May God bless you with good health. Yeah.
Okay, happy birthday. So, may hapon sa tanan. Christmas is almost near. Huh? So I'd like to greet everybody a happy good afternoon for today. Of course, our friends from media who are watching us right now, our visitors, and those who are watching us via Zoom. So maayong hapon, fellow Cagayanons. So let us proceed. My Majority Floor Leader, Attorney Edgar Cabanlas, with beautiful barong. Courtesy by... Oh.
Familiar ka. Bawan gini Ibi. May hapon sa atong
Afternoon.
kanunay nga matahong Vice Mayor Ibot Rodriguez, mga kauban ko sa konsiho, mga butan ko mga kauban sa konsiho. The guest visitors we have in the gallery, people of Cagayan de Oro, whom we are serving 24/7. Maayong hapon sa tanan. Happy birthday, Janjan. Nansyal Janjan. Madam Chair, may I move to dispense the reading of the minutes of the previous regular session of this council on November 5, 2025, and consider the furnishing copies thereof as reading itself.
Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection. Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
On the special report portion of our session today, Madam Chair, there are two members of City Council who are intending to render the special report. First, Councilor Roger Abaday on his proposal to require CCTV in all barangays in the city. And second would be Councilor Chris Goking. He will be reporting on the report on katong mga sa barangay. Lupon lagi, Lupon, barangay Lupons. That would be the sequence, Madam Chair. May I request, Madam Chair, that Councilor Roger Abaday be recognized first.
Councilor Roger Abaday, you recognize?
Thank you very much, Majority Floor. Our Honorable Presiding Officer, Vice Mayor Ibot Rodriguez, my esteemed colleagues in the 20th City Council, 21st City Council, all people who are watching us today physically and in live stream, and friends who are in the gallery, may hapon sa tanan. Happy birthday, Janjan. Now, my report is about the mandatory installation of CCTV system in all barangays of Cagayan de Oro. Now, Cagayan de Oro city is being a highly urbanized center. It has been reported to have the highest number of 8 focus crimes region-wide from January to September 24 compared to the same period in 2023. Now, the 8 focus crime in Cagayan de Oro, this refers to the 8 offenses tracked by the PNP as the key indicators for country's crime situation, high frequency or serious crimes. So, like murder, homicide, physical injury, rape, theft, robbery, carnapping or car theft, and motorcycle theft. Now, theft is often cited as the most common index crime in the region, which reflects in 2023 data based on the record released by COCPO. There was a slight increase in the total number of 8 focus crimes reported from 530 incidents in 2022 to 568 in 2023, 7.17% increase. However, the crime solution efficiency also saw a notable increase from 63.96% in 2022 to 67.25% in 2023. Now, this information is typically sourced from official police reports, press releases, and sometimes from academic studies or news articles detailing statistics. Now, based on the latest available data for CDO from COCPO, the general trends in urban Philippines barangays, here is a breakdown of the most common crimes. We look at the the top index in Cagayan de Oro City. The most common crimes recorded by the police across the entire city, which heavily influence the barangay level, fall under the 8 focus crimes. Among these crimes against property are considered the highest. Theft, number 1, theft, consistently common index crime in region and the city. Second is rape, often second highest index crime in the region. Physical injury, the highest number in cases, often stem from altercation, lalis. Then number 4, robbery, significant in commercial areas, main thoroughfares. And number 5, carnapping or motorcycle theft, high in area with large number of motorcycles. Now, the key takeaway from barangays, theft is the most significant concern. Petty theft, snatching, stealing items left unattended, and theft from home and stores like shoplifting. Now, the high priority non-index crimes, violation of special laws like illegal drugs under Republic Act 9165, drug-related arrest, selling, and possession are continuous focus of police operation with many arrests happening in the barangay level. Now, violence against women and children, Republic Act 9262 or BAUC, cases of domestic abuse, physical harm, or psychological violence with households are frequently reported in the barangay BAUC desk or police. In summary, the most common visible concerns for an average resident in Cagayan de Oro barangay is theft, snatching, and especially in public and commercial areas, and minor physical injuries, disturbance arising from neighbor, which is vital conflict. Now, here is a breakdown of the expected effects of comprehensive barangay CCTV mandate in CDO based on general urban safety studies and local government trend in the Philippines. First, the impact on crime solutions. There is a past solution, highly effective. This is the area crime are CCTVs are most immediate and proven impact. For example, faster identification and apprehension. CCTV footage provides investigators like our police with crucial evidence to identify suspects, track their movements before and after crime, and distinguishes accomplices. For example, latest incident in Patag. What leads to the police identify who are the accomplices is through CCTVs installed fronting the crime scene. Now they are already tracking who is that accomplice that assessed the principal in shooting. Now, which the COCPO has already reported and prioritized. Second, corroboration of witnesses' testimony. Video evidence confirms the events in crime, which is vital in filing charges and securing conviction, reducing time spent on the investigation and prosecution. Third, tracking crime patterns. Police can analyze footage from barangay cameras to map out emerging hotspots, methods, or the modus operandi, and common escape routes, which help in planning targeted patrol deployment. Now, conclusion for the solution. CCTVs are highly effective tool for solving crimes, making investigation faster and significantly improving the police ability are most clear in cases. Now, the impact on crime reduction or prevention, moderately effective. A different one of CCTVs is strong, but not absolute, as it is depends on the type of crime. Now, deterrence to property crimes. CCTVs are most effective during calculated crimes like theft and robbery. The most crimes in CDO barangays, the potential offender can see the camera and calculates that the risk of being caught is too high. Kung naay CCTV makita sa mga would-be kawatan, medyo sila ma-deter o ma-discourage, so di lang mapadayon. Diyan, the limited effect in crime of passion impulse, kanibang away-away, personal nga grudge. CCTVs are less effective against crime resulting from sudden emotion, domestic disputes, or impulse, like many physical injury cases or homicide. Now, these crimes are often committed without rational calculation rest. Now, displacement effect. A major risk is crime displacement. If CCTVs are only installed in one barangay, criminal may simply move their activities to nearby barangay with poor or no coverage. For true citywide reduction, the coverage must be comprehensive and sustained. Increase public perception of safety. Even if the crime rate doesn't drop immediately, the visibility of cameras can make residents feel safer, which is vital component of public order and community trust. Conclusion for reduction. CCTVs can be effective in determining the most common property crimes, but they must be coupled with another measure like increased police or tanod visibility to achieve broader reduction. There is no substitute of human intervention. So kinahanglan gyapon nato ang physical presence of our police and barangay tanod in the barangay. In view of the foregoing, this representation is proposing that a joint committee meeting with Committee on Barangay Affairs or the Committee on Public Utilities for appropriate deliberation of the proposed CCTV system ordinance. Now, copies of the draft proposed ordinance will be provided to each chairman and members of the committee for their kind perusal or review. Thank you very much and good afternoon once again.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilor Roger Abaday. Yes, Councilor Janjan Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for that, our good counselor from Kauswagan. But we already had our committee hearing regarding our CCTV. In fact, for the benefit of our colleagues here, 2 weeks ago, together with our chairman committee on public utilities, Councilor Eric Salcedo, we already conducted our committee hearing regarding the non-operational of the all 81 CCTVs in the entire city. Tibuok syudad, Madam Chair, wala na nag-function ang atong CCTV. 81 kabuok. Mauna na since 2017. So, together with our traffic lights, we already formed a group. Actually, we already told our the contractor who work on this because it varies per CCTV. Meaning, for example, for this street, kaning dool sa ato dinhi kanili ga function na CCTV, usahay software lang ang kinahanglan per CCTV. Usahay pod depende lang pod sa iyang arm, meaning ang gahawid sa iya. So there are a lot of factors, Madam Chair. That was 2 weeks ago. By next week, they'll be giving us our full report regarding how much per CCTV will be spent for the refunctioning and for the repair of per CCTV. So kana lang, Madam Chair, pasalamat ko sa atong Councilor Abaday kay iya gyud gi balikan, iyang gi-check. So 81 CCTVs are not working right now, but we are waiting for the results and the final recommendation as to how much the city government will pay for the repair and maintenance of per CCTV for the 81 CCTVs all around Cagayan de Oro. Kana lang, Madam Chair. Salamat.
Thank you very much, Councilor Janjan Rodriguez. Yes, Councilor Roger Abaday.
Thank you very much, birthday boy, Janjan. With regards to your query, under Section 4 of the proposed ordinance, there is a monitoring and data access protocol. The Barangay Peace and Order Council designated committee shall supervise the operation, maintenance, and monitoring of the barangay CCTV system. So it is included here already. And there are fundings, there are also penalties for failure to install CCTV system. Then failure to maintain operational system. So there are already cited provision, and this will just corroborate with the existing CCTV ordinance, Madam Chair and my colleagues.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilor Roger Abaday. Yes, Councilor Eric Salcedo, you have the floor.
Daghang salamat, Madam Chair. Mayong hapon po sa atong mga kauban. Alam ko'y query sa atong good reporter, Madam Chair. Kuwapo kayo ang iyong proposal, mandatory. Ako lang po ang tana. Kung sa'yo mga penalty, kung ang barangay dili makahimo sa CCTV kay susama gyapon sa nitabo sa atong RA 9003 o sa Ecological Solid Waste Management nga nakabutang dito sa atong ordinansa nga kinahanglan ang mga barangay mabutang og MRF pero di man kaya no kay wa may space. Ako po tana, Madam Chair, kung unsay penalty in case kung dili tungod kay balo ka ang mga especially sa mga gagmay nga mga barangay 1 to 40 barangays gamay ra gyud kay income labi na nga nakuhaan sila o NTA. Gamay na kay NTA nila, Madam Chair. Unya kinsay maghimo sa specs, siyempre ang ato magyong City Engineering Office. Ang specs kaya ka sa ato mga gagmay nga mga barangay, muna nga interesado ko, Madam Chair, sa penalty. Katapusan, Madam Chair. kung pananglitan dili makabutang ang atong mga barangay o mga CCTV. May mo kang inutil ang atong mga kapulisan kung walay mga CCTV. Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Councilor Roger Abaday.
Thank you very much.
May ask Councilor Roger Abaday, are you referring CCTV paid or expenses by the barangay?
Yes, Madam
So
Chair.
ang
They-
barangay
they-
should have a CCTV,
They have to
not
provide-
relying on the city alone.
Yes, separate ang city.
Ang sa city,
City.
o sa barangay.
So it's
Ang
up
imo,
on barangay to source their budget.
so their budget.
Oh.
Okay, okay.
In fact,
Proceed.
there are already existing barangays have CCTVs already. So what is lacking is their maintenance and updating of their CCTVs. Now, with regards to the query of my bossing in Gusa, Councilor, this will help so much in your committee in monitoring garbage. Okay? This will be installed in areas where garbage disposal is being placed. No? Crime mangyapon ng garbage collection, di ba? Or illegal garbage disposal. Now, with regards to penalties, Section 6 of this proposed ordinance, failure to install CCTV system, first level, written reprimand and a directive to comply within 90 days. Number 2, second level, 15-day suspension without pay and new 16-day compliance period. Third level, 30-day suspension without pay or a fine equivalent to 1 month's salary at the discretion of the disciplinary authority. So, is the court or ano. So these are proposed penalties, of course, subject to the deliberation of the committee later on, which is most appropriate and consistent to our existing law.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay. Councilor Marlon Tabak, you're raising your hand then, Councilor, Majority Floor Leader. Councilor Marlon Tabak,
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. I would like to inform the body that we are very lucky that our Honorable City Mayor, Rolando Clarix Uy, informed the barangay officials, especially the barangay captains, to prioritize the installation of CCTV cameras in the barangay empowerment program of the mayor. There are lots of barangays in the city proper who already availed the CCTV installations sa ato mga areas, no? Happy kay kung dili kaya sa barangay, pwede na mo ilabi dito sa atong barangay empowerment program of the Honorable City Mayor Rolando Clarix.
yes,
Thank you,
still,
Madam Chair.
Still, but the budget is coming from the city, right? Correct. So barangay gapon nga gasto. Anyway, yes, Majority Floor Leader, Attorney Edgar Cabanlats.
Madam Chair, the katang proposal nga ordinansa, I think that was our commercial CCTV requirement that we passed before. Kanang gikuan ni Councilor Abaday. Now, if we will apply that to the barangay captains, dabi kung President Barangay Uno, di sila kagahom tili pagbutang CCTV, yato ipapriso ang kapitan sa ari kriman yung kapitan. Kaluoy bisad nga. Sa mo yung pagreprimo, may lang magahom. Alang-alang ito silang pugson. So I think the putting up of CCTV, we were talking about coordination and pas-pas nga pagkuha sa information. Nagigitawag control center. Nagi na siya. So, ang syudad gina magbutang niya na. Syudad. Ang syudad gina magbutang.
Monitoring
department center nga dito. Sintro ang tanan nga mga makukita sa CCTV. Kaya kung magtasatagsa, may wagbuwag, murag dili kay efektibo. But for purposes of local consumption, tatagsa-tagsa ka ba, pwede ka na, but we cannot just simply demand nga ang tanan barangay magbutang gyud kay di man gid tanan maka-afford. And then there are priorities in the barangays. Mabandi na magay pa kasweldo tungod sa ato ninong i-require. So I think, but that is a good idea. Efektibo ka na kung dito ka na sa commercial. All commercial establishments should put up their own CCTV. That's very important. And we have that ordinance already.
Okay.
So I think katong gi-suggest ni Councilor Baday, i-refer na to sa committee ba sa para nga
Public safety.
para nga ma-studyan pagayo.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Madam
Okay,
Chair.
thank you very much, Majority Floor Leader Attorney Kit Cabanlas. Yes, Councilor Janjan Rodriguez. Councilor Eric.
Yes, Madam Chair. Salamat ko kay Majority Floor Leader, no. We have to give it back, of course, sa atong responsibilidad as city local government unit sa city, sa syudad. Because back in 2013 and 2014, naagyod tay CCTVs. 81 kabuok na tay command center, which is located ang in charge ana is ang atong CDRRF. But for now, unfortunately, dili gyud siya gagana. That's why maybe by next week, together with Councilor Abaday, together with our TWG with regards with our CCTVs as well as our traffic lights, mauban naman na kay giuban naman namo, no? Nga diskusan nato. And for the future budget, increased budget for our CCTV, because I heard from our budget deliberation a month ago, 50 million lang ang gigahin sa syudad for 2026. Maybe that's only for the maintenance. And as discussed, as mentioned by Majority Floor Leader 4 weeks ago, he mentioned that Davao City has a 1.5 billion budget for the CCTVs all over the city. So for that, Madam Chair, I would suggest our good Councilor Abaday to sit down with us for the next week to come together with our turnover na di ay sa City Engineering's office. Kaya nagpinasahay man sila, Madam Chair. Gikan sa contractor, gikan sa building officials, as well as CDRRM and the City Engineering. Pero na-turn over na sa City Engineering, Madam Chair. So gusto na mo siya ma-revive ang atong 81 na CCTVs plus the additional budget for 2027 para ani sa atong CCTVs all over the city. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. So refer to the Committee on Public Safety. Who else? Barangay Affairs. Youth Public Utilities. Is that all? Dohara? Barangay Affairs and Public Safety. Public Order. Dohara. Okay. So refer to these committees. Okay, thank you very much. So our next speaker is ito? Okay. Councilor Chris Goking, you have the floor.
Hello, fellow councilors, Majority Floor Leader, Vice Mayor Bebo Rodriguez, Minority Floor, Gasuan, and everybody else, all our guests here. I'm gonna announce now we finished a memorandum of understanding in October 24. Naisbog lang yun siya to today, kay dagan kitag mga special guests in between. Pero what happened on October 24, we established an MOU with the DILG, which is the lead agency, the city government of Cagayan de Oro City, but then the representative of CDO nga DILG is Elaine Josephine Di Paor, our city director, in partnership with our local government unit, City Mayor Rolando Clarix Uy. Also with the city prosecutor and the Department of Justice, Prosecutor Charis Galarita Bitoon, and with our president of the Liga ng mga Barangay, si Councilor ex officio Marlo Tabac. Also with the IBP, Integrated Bar of the Philippines, Misamis Oriental Chapter Attorney Gregorio Miguel H. Palugna, the president, along with the vice president, the daughter of our very skilled and experienced attorney Ed Cabanlas, the vice president, attorney Melanie May Cabanlas Diron, along with the University of Liceo de Cagayan College of Law, represented by retired Judge Dean Hill Bulyosos, but then signing for Dr. Elaine P. Goles, the university president, and the College of Xavier University, College of Law, Father Mar Stan, the president, signed in behalf by Attorney Ernesto Neri and in coordination with the Office of City Councilor Dr. Paulo Gaani and my office. So what happened here on October 24, to summarize everything lang, we can produce a copy for everyone if you're interested. What we addressed Kay what I picked up after the elections, ang mga lupon namo sa District 1 nagduol sa ako kay dako ilang pagpasalamat kay Congressman Rufus Rodriguez for his brochure or his briefer sa mga lupon. But then other than that, dili magyud tanan na access. So they requested me when I went around sa pagpasalamat nga pwede ba ta magbuhat og program para ma-train pa nato ang mga lupon. So what happened here, kani tanan nga mga partner agencies already have their own individual nga mga programs at the DILG and the City Hall through Office of Community Affairs. So giusa na mo tanan. Kaya what happens? Sa level sa barangay Lupon na ay mga kaso nga ipaabot dito, ipaagi sa proseso nga dili day jurisdiction sa Lupon, like mga problems regarding titled properties nga usahay mo overlap unya pagpadala sa city prosecutor tungod sa kadaghan nga outside of their jurisdiction motaas ang backlog sa city prosecutor. So what does that mean sa mga tao nga naagi mga valid nga cases maabtan og pila ka bulan, usay mapadala pa diri sa city council, usay dito pa sa DILG para lang i-explain nga you have to go back to the barangay per taas na kay nga panahon ang niagi. So to summarize everything, that is to address the lack of skill and knowledge sa atong mga lupon by giving them additional training for mediation, conciliation, and case handling, resulting in the problems nga makakause a delayed service of justice on the barangay level and congestion of regular courts. So delayed justice and then the backlogs. So we did this by establishing regular training programs for all Lupon members, enhancing skills in mediation, conciliation, and dispute settlement, improving coordination among government, legal institutions, and academe, creating a Barangay Lupon case management and notification system. This is going to be led by the city government of Cagayan de Oro City, which automates notices, tracks deadlines, and centralizes case data. Kay usahay manggod nga wala kabalo ang tao nga karon di sila moato sa dupon or magpakita sa korte kaya wa sila naignan. So to avoid this, atong gi-modernize. To run through lang some of the responsibilities of the people involved, the DILG will capacitate all local government units, including barangays, in the effective implementation of the Katarungan Pambarangay system, facilitate, coordinate, and implement all projects and programs under this partnership, serve as a central point of contact among parties, monitor and evaluate the progress and outcomes of all activities, and prepare and submit periodic reports to the parties. On the side of Cagayan de Oro LGU, the supporting agency, we provide logistical, financial, and other support services necessary for the mobilization and materialization of the partnerships, plans, and activities, assist in the coordination with barangay officials, and ensure the participation of all 80 barangays. To develop a Barangay Lupon case management and notification system, to further break it down, it is to automate notice generation, track case deadlines, and maintain database of cases, meeting records, and complaints per barangay with the DILG, granted monitoring-only access for oversight, subject to the Data Privacy Act of 2012, allocate resources in accordance with applicable laws and ordinances, and craft policies to strengthen the Katarungan Pambarangay system and support the effective operation of the Lupon Tagapamayapa in all barangays, which I think is something nga gidungan o buhat ni Councilor Janjan Rodriguez. While we were doing this, he also drafted, I think, Councilor, at the same time, na simultaneous siya. So maybe we can synchronize this with what is going on the executive level. And the IBP Misamis Oriental shall provide legal services, insights, and research speakers for all capacity building workshops, seminars, and trainings, take the lead in consolidation, review, and finalization of reading materials and reference guides for the Lupon Tagapamayapa, ensure that all legal content and training materials are accurate, up-to-date, and compliant with national laws and jurisprudence. And the role of Liceo Law and Xavier Ateneo Law is to integrate programs and activities that address the development of the barangay justice system and capacitate law student practitioners as force multipliers in conducting capacity building for the barangays. Assign supervising lawyers or professors to accompany law student practitioners in the conduct of activities in the barangays, ensuring the presence of qualified legal professionals to address complex issues in the compliance with Rule 138-A, and collaborate with IBP Misamis Oriental in the development and delivery of training modules and materials. Coordinate with the schedules of barangay visits and capacity building activities, and whenever possible, provide copies of such schedules to the DILG and the Liga ng mga Barangay for monitoring and coordination purposes. On the other hand, we also have the Liga ng Barangays, which will serve as the coordinating body between city government, Lupon, Tagapamayapa, and partner institutions in implementing capacity building and case management programs. Facilitate communication, participation, and compliance among all barangays. Ensure that each barangay regularly updates its record of cases, meetings, and reports in the new database that we're producing. So long story short, we're bringing all the agencies together to provide better service to everybody on the barangay level, to reduce the backlogs sa atong city prosecutor, and of course, to have a more efficient government para ang mga dili na nato dapat atimanon, pwede nato ma-channel sa proper agencies. So this is going to be a 3-year program. It's already been signed, funded by DILG and city government. And then I think the next step from here with the Liga ng mga Barangay, and I think everyone involved, is to produce a Cagayan de Oro specific and relevant briefer, of course with support of what is already existing, produced by Congressman Rufus Rodriguez, para po nga what is applicable in District 1 can be attended to, kay at least dili kay siya generic. We have compiled mga questions and concerns during the workshop, and then after this, all these agencies will produce a Cagayan specific briefer for the mga Lupon Tagapamayapa. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilor Chris Goking. So, musaka pa na. Wala pa man na dire, no? Anyway, so that is a very good report. So, actually, yearly na sila gakandak sa we are still barangay chair, master na nilang Councilor Abaday, Councilor Tabak, and Councilor Eric Sacedo, Councilor Jan, Councilor Al. Yeah, it's an ongoing thing with the Lupon. No, it's yearly how many series of what you call this seminars that they provide. Anyway, thank you very much. The Majority Floor Leader, Attorney Edgar Cabalas.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Okay, we proceed to our business of the day. Item number 1, Turks, please.
Item 1 is for omnibus approval of proposed resolution number 2025-115 up to 2025-118. Declaring as operative in their entirety, effective in the date fixed therein, the herein barangay ordinances covering the respective annual or supplemental budget as the case may be of the herein mentioned sangguniang barangays, to wit: A. Ordinance number 5-25 series of 2025 of the Barangay Council of Barangay number 13 covering its supplemental budget for CY 2025 with an estimated income of 318,982 pesos. B. Ordinance number 1 series of 2025 Barangay Council of Barangay number 17 covering its annual budget for calendar year 2026 with an estimated income of 5,501,785 pesos. And C. Ordinance number 2 series of 2025 of the Barangay Council of Barangay number 10 covering its annual budget for calendar year 2026 with an estimated income of 4,488,439 pesos.
Madam Chair, may I request Councilor Marlo L. Tabak be recognized?
Councilor Marlo Tabak, you're recognized.
Madam Presiding Officer, I move to approve proposed resolution number 2025-115, 2025-119.
Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Item 2, proposed ordinance number 2025-125 appropriating the sum of 76,180 pesos from the item non-office economic services sector, special purpose fund, land acquisition, expropriation, and the 2025 annual budget to be made available for the full payment of the claim for just compensation of improvements, plants and trees owned by Mr. Roel Ibalubo, which were affected by the road opening from Sitio Leropan to Sitio Tubalon, Barangay Pagalungan, the city, and authorizing the Honorable City Mayor to sign the corresponding deed of absolute share thereof. Move for its approval, Madam Chair.
In a second. Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Item 3, proposed ordinance number 2025-126 approving the preliminary subdivision development plan, SDP, of Cagayan de Oro Resettlement and Socialized Housing Project, 5A, located in Barangay San Simon, the city, with an area of 12,273 square meters, containing 91 lots under PD 220, as applied for by the city government of Cagayan de Oro, represented by City Mayor Rolando A. Uy, subject to the conditions imposed by the Office of the City Engineer, Office of the City Planning and Development Coordinator, and the City Housing and Urban Development Department. May I request Councilor Christopher Goking be recognized, Madam Chair.
Councilor Chris Goking, you recognize.
Move to approve proposed ordinance number 2025-126.
Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Item 4, proposed ordinance number 2025-127, approving the preliminary subdivision development plan, SDP of Cagayan de Oro, resettlement and socialized housing project 1, phase 3 extension, Shedorps 1, P3 extension located in Barangay Canituan, the city, with an area of 19,818 square meters containing 64 lots under BP 220 as applied for the city government of Cagayan de Oro, represented by City Mayor Rolando A. Uy, subject to the conditions imposed by the Office of the City Engineer, Office of the City Planning and Development Coordinator, and the City Housing and Urban Development Department. May I request Councilor Joylene Mercedes Balaba be recognized.
Councilor Joylene Mercedes Balaba, you recognize.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. I move for the approval of proposed ordinance number 2025-127.
Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Item 5, proposed ordinance number 2025-128, approving the application of Indahag Square Garden, represented by Mr. Victor Cabeltes, for a special permit to hold a three-stag cockfight event on November 25, 2025 at the said cockpit located at Sitio Lumboy, Barangay Indahag, this city. To our friend, Councilor Roger Abaday, may I request to be recognized.
Councilor Roger Abaday, you recognize.
Thank you very much, Majority Floor. Considering that the proposed ordinance are complied under the law and city ordinance, I move for this approval.
Any second?
Second.
Objection? Objection? Wag yun naningong. Motion is hereby certified.
Adlock, Madam Chair. Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Items 6. Item 6, Madam Chair, proposed ordinance number 2025-50, institutionalizing the newborn screening in Cagayan de Oro City and for other purposes. May I request, Madam Chair, that you should be the one to move for this.
I would like to relinquish my post, Ms.
Yes.
Majority Floor Leader, to our pro tempore, Councilor Roger Abaday, for the to introduce my ordinance titled Ordinance Institutionalizing the Newborn Screening in Cagayan de Oro City.
Okay, our Vice Mayor is recognized.
Thank you very much. This ordinance is about making newborn screening a permanent and strong part of our city's health services. What is newborn screening? Kanang newborn screening bitaw, pagkatao sa bata, tugsuko na ang iyang heel to check og nabay mga abnormalities. Muna siya pagkatao. So newborn screening is a test done on babies to check for serious health conditions that they might be born with. Kung dili dayon masuta sa madaling panahon ang mga bag-ong natao nga bata, posibleng mohantong kini sa ilang mental or physical disability or even death. Apan kung may balaan kini diha dayon, mahatagan dayon kini og igong kasulbaran, giving our children a chance to live a healthy life. Base ining atong ordinansa, libre kini nga serbisyo kay ihatag nato sa atong mga katawhan Mr. Chair. Ang nasudnong balaod nga nagsuporta ining ato ordinansa is Republic Act number 9288 or the Newborn Screening Act of 2004, which was enacted mga duha na ka dekada ang nilabay. Ug sukad kani adto naghatag na og susamang serbisyo ang atong City Health Office. Ang implementing rules and regulations nagmando kini sa mga LGUs to enact an ordinance integrating newborn screening in our health delivery systems. Since 2004, wala pa kitay ordinansa mahitungod ini. Hence, the very reason why I authored this ordinance for the body's consideration. I first filed this ordinance on April 23, 2024. And when I refile it under the 21st City Council, City Councilor Maximo Rodriguez and City Councilor Dr. Paulo Gaani are my co-authors. This is endorsed by the Department of Health, PhilHealth, and the City Health Office. So sa among mga committee hearings, ang City Health Office nagsubay nga usahay mahutdan gyud silag pundo sa pagpamalit og mga testing kits. Maunang adunay mga bag-ong na tawo nga dili maka-undergo newborn screening. Pinaagi aning atong ordinansa ang pundo nga gigahin mamahimong revolving fund aron dili nagyud mahutdan og pondo ang City Health og mamahimo kining self-sustaining tungod sa suporta nga ihatag sa PhilHealth diha pag-refund sa atong nagasto base sa Universal Healthcare Act of 2019. Kung subayon lang sa husto, ang pag-manage sa maong nga pundo, wala na'y bag-ong na tao nga bata nga dili maka-undergo og newborn screening. In a recent letter dated October 6, 2025, PhilHealth Regional Office 10 commended us for this ordinance. They said that the PhilHealth Newborn Care Package has been increased from 2,950 pesos to 5,750 pesos. No, this is million. 2.950 million to 5.750 million pesos. This package includes newborn screening and other important care for newborns. Ang newborns shall be performed after 24 hours of life, but not later than 14 days from the complete delivery of the newborn. Ang bagong na tao nga anaa sa intensive care shall be screened immediately after the 24-hour of life and when the baby has received adequate milk feeding. Repeat screening shall be done on the 20th day of life. Likewise, sick babies or premature babies shall be screened with the same timing. Ang newborn screening is just the responsibility of the parents and our public health practitioners. The city health officer will lead this program. They must establish a functional case management referral system with other hospitals, ensuring the provision of all NBS services nga atong ihatag dinhi sa atong dakbayan. Kamanduan ining atong ordinansa is that all births in Cagayan de Oro shall undergo newborn screening test. This is a compulsory. Isip dugang all birthing facilities in the city shall establish a community-based recall system through the city recall team, with the participation of the barangays to find newborns who may have a heritable condition for them to get another lab test and to confirm a diagnosis and get treatment. This team will work together to locate and help these infants. Ang dakong tumong aning mga atong ordinansa is to make sure every newborn in our city can get screened. We want to give parents and health workers clear information about why screening is important and to set up a system so that screening is easy to get all families. Members of this Honorable Council, I ask for your support in approving this ordinance. With this, Mr. Chair, I therefore move for the passage of this proposed ordinance titled, An Ordinance Institutionalizing the Newborn Screening in Cagayan de Oro.
Okay, so this is a very laudable
Thank you.
ordinance. Any comment, any manifestation with regard to the post ordinance? Any second comment, any objection? There is none, so the said ordinance is hereby approved.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I will now
Move to approve
turn
the
over again
final
to
reading.
the-
Sapa.
Ah, sir?
Relax ah. I-screen ka muna mo ron.
Okay. move for this second
Vote
and final
to
reading.
approve on second and final reading.
There was a move for second and final reading, and if there was no objection, so the said ordinance is hereby approved.
Okay.
Okay, we'll turn back the seat to our presiding officer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's proceed. Majority Floor Leader, Attorney Edgar Cabanlas.
Madam Chair, for inclusion, we have one item. Move to include item number 7.
Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Item 7, Turks, please.
Item 7 is proposed resolution number 2025-119, commending and congratulating the herein mentioned Cagayan de Oro City athletes and their respective coaches for winning medals during the Batang Pinoy Games 2025 held in General Santos City, to wit: 1. John Calvin B. Abisamis for the event of chess category Asian Boy Rapid Under 13 Boys gold medal. 2. Laila Alisa W. Sirinya, chess for the categories Standard Game Under 15 silver medal and Rapid Blitz Under 15 bronze medal. 3. Ruel A. Canino and Kristen M. Lapore for the event of chess for the categories ASEAN Blitz Chess 17 age category girls team gold, Blitz Chess Championship silver, Under 17 team standard chess gold, Rapid Chess Championship team silver, 960 Rapid Chess Championship bronze, and 960 Blitz Championship team gold. Next, Sherlyn G. Kobe and Laila Alaisa W. Sirinya for the event of chess for the categories Rapid Chess 15 age category girls bronze medal, ASEAN Rapid Chess 15 age category girls team gold, 960 Rapid Chess 15 age category girls team bronze, and Standard Chess 15 age category girls team gold. Next, Victoria Charlene A. Arabejo for the event of Taekwondo category light middleweight silver medal. Next, Gia SS Jamin Taekwondo for category bantamweight silver medal. Samantha Glay A. Duria Taekwondo featherweight middle gold medal. Rio Caminadi Taekwondo finweight silver medal. Beatrice C. Ching Xiong Taekwondo lightweight silver medal. Ruhana Faith M. Salomon Taekwondo lightweight bronze medal. Isabelle E. Valverde Taekwondo light heavyweight silver medal. Maverick M. Longos for the event of swimming 4x50 medley relay 12 to 13 boys silver medal, 4x50 meters freestyle relay boys silver medal, and 50 meters freestyle boys bronze medal. Next, Seth Andre V. Imbay swimming 4x50 medley relay 12 to 13 boys silver medal, and 4x50 meters freestyle relay boys silver medal. Carlisle Marcio V. Llanes for the event of swimming 4x50 medley relay 12 to 13 boys silver medal, and 4x50 meters freestyle relay boys silver medal. Rafael Luke C. De La Cruz swimming 4x50 medley relay 12 to 13 boys silver medal, 4x50 meters freestyle relay boys silver. Janine M. Abastar swimming 4x50 medley relay 12 to 13 girls silver medal. John Hosea L. Rivera swimming 4x50 medley relay 12 to 13 boys silver medal. Jobert B. Abragan Jr. for the event of boxing junior boys 48 kilograms category gold medal. Irma Chris B. Caballero boxing junior girls 50 to 54 kilograms silver medal. Honipir T. Pagubo boxing schoolboys 43 to 46 kilograms silver medal. Renalyn T. Lucky judo 44 kilogram juvenile girls bronze medal. Beverly May B. Open karate do 16 to 17 advanced committee bronze medal. Next, Rani Zeli A. Onas karate do individual kata advanced bronze medal. Jasmine is Reyes, Kathleen Kate A. Rondina, Anika Gia A. Xiao, and Zia W. Sereno for the event of basketball under 17 women's 3-on-3 gold medal. Kate Julien G. Ocladina and Jasmine Riati Reformina for the event of badminton girls doubles under 17 to under 17 division gold medal. Alaisa B. and Atriz R. Altares for the event of archery first distance category silver, second distance category bronze, and overall category silver medal. And Lloyd Bacarong Patungan for the athletics event 2,000-meter walk under 18 boys, silver medal.
Madam Chair, may I request Councilor Kenneth John Chakala be recognized?
Councilor Kenneth Sakala, you recognize.
Move for the approval of proposed resolution number 2025-120. Thank you.
Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
There being no other matters to attend to, Madam Chair, may I move for the adjournment?
Okay. Wag yun nanindog. Pakbaka na to. Wag yun nanindog. Anyway, we will announce that our session will be until December 9. Are you okay with it? O ganahan pagid mo? December 1 in the morning, kaya manlarga man mo sa PCL. So it's December 1 is in the morning. 10 o'clock. Kung sa oras niyo flight, dahil mo larga sa'yo? 1 p.m. Sayo lang ta. We can, mubura man na mubura kayo mga 9 na lang ta. Yeah, 9 o'clock. Okay? So 9 will be the last session that we'll be having. Okay? So any second? Objection? Question? Yes, Councilor Marlo Tabak.
Query lang, Madam Chair, because there are discussions that instead of one, because Monday, one flag raising ceremony, all of us will join in the flag raising with the mayor. Then kung mag-session pa, nagreklamo na uban nga mapikhan. So mo nang nag-ingon sila 5 na lang ang session. I don't know kung mauto ang discussion, pero I heard nga na proposal nga 5 instead of 1 because
Kindly
December
check
1.
sa 5. Karon sa mo mamalik.
Okay. So,
Musayo lang ta din na probably you can attend, kadali lang, then you proceed with the 9 o'clock. Okay na si Mayor? Yes, majority.
Wala ta mga 10 o'clock. Kay nga, duha lang ato nga agenda, pati ta malangan.
Actually, mapaspasan man nato. Wala na special report, mapaspasan na nato.
Na mag-special, ano siya?
Naguna-una ako special report. Anyway, wala special report so that we will be finished by 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Yes, Majority Councilor Eric Salcedo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Spokesman lang ko, Madam Chair, kanin diriho kay di isla gasulti.
Unsa may ilang gusto?
Muntan ako, nganong dili pwede sa 5? Anong day kung Friday?
Daghan, bisag ako na ko yung mga activities sa ana. Ang 5, Councilor Eric, usually ang akong schedule is Monday, mo ginay pinaka-vacant. Then I will have a succeeding schedule sa Friday. Kana mo ni pinakasayon kay mo sayo man ta. Sayo na to.
Okay.
Musayo lang ta. Oo. In fact, you know what? We can start early. Kaya kana bitang mga 9:30 siguro. Dili, pag humag-speech ni Mayor, dito na ta. Bukanta pa dito kan kayo di oro Mars din lakaw na ta dito ta mapilan ng picture. Okay, sige, Friday. Kinsa pa tayo nagpraisahan? Wala na. Okay. So 9:30. We start at 9:30 Monday for the flag raising. 1 pa man na, sa 1 pa man na siya. Yes, 9 o'clock. 9:30 lang. Sakto pa na. Anyway, any second? Any objection? Kasi nag-object? Objection ka? Gusto ka mag-session?
Ambot gusto nila sa ako na sa spokesperson na pod.
Oo, unsa man?
Gusto
Unsa lang
nila
gusto?
sa Friday daw, i-divide the house daw kung kinsay ganahan sa Friday or sa Monday.
Labad kay paghimo. Actually, gapirma ko sa agenda for the following Monday. Ang ang paghimo sa agenda, manggod, it takes time. Prani ron, nag-session ta. Ang agenda will go to my office sa Thursday. Ayha na siya. Ang pagpagawas kay, sila may luoy. Ma-overtime. Magiday mo sa buntag. Be. Okay na ha? Okay na? Okay, go. So, magluoy sa dang staff kung ato silang dali-dalion, okay? Any second objection? Wala na objection. Okay. Session adjourned. God bless us all.